Welcome back. When we left off, we were discussing the General Continued tab. As we learned, there are two sections of this tab we will need to fill out, in which each of those sections will always be the same. The trailer type will always be FH, and the order value will always be 100,000. Once we have input both of these into their allotted slots, we will go on to the next tab, which is Stop Details. From here, you should see the pickup address as well as the last stop on this lane. From here, we will need to add the additional stops that consist in this lane. When we look at our notes, we see that this order has a total of 4 stops. We see that the last stop is already entered in because of the information that we entered on the first screen, which asked for the general information. So, from here, we must enter the other 3 store stops that are required for this route. To do this, we will work backwards. We will go down to the destination stop and go to the far right of that column and click the paper with the plus sign. Once we click that, that will bring us to the order stop screen. From here, we can add an additional store stop. We will always work backwards when entering store stops. Since New Orleans is already entered into the system, the next one that needs to be entered is Chalmette, Louisiana. So we will go to Enterprise TMS to get the information for Chalmette. We will highlight once we arrive on the TMS system and have the Chalmette information, we will highlight it. Again, you can either copy and paste or you can type in the information manually, but you will take the name of the store, which is the Home Depot store number 373, and enter it into the name bar under the order screen. You will go back to Enterprise and enter in the address into the order stop screen. Finally, you will go back and hit copy the last line, which includes the city, state, and zip code, and enter it on the order screen. Again, you must remember to always put a comma after the city. If you do not put a comma and you go to the next line, it will say could not locate city. So you will need to re-enter it and add a comma. Once we have entered in the address for this store, we will need to change the type of stop it is. This will always be delivery. You will always make the stop type delivering, as we are delivering merchandise to each of these stores. We are not picking up. We are always delivering. Once we have that correct, along with the address, we will then put the time and date that we will be arriving. If we go back to our notes, we see that we will be delivering to Chalmette on August the 9th at 10 a.m. This is what we will put into this section. So we will type 8-9-2018, and then we will type 10 a.m. So we will type 10 and the letter A. Once we have done that, we can click OK. You will now see that the Chalmette store has been added to the number of stops. From here, we will go to the Shawmut column and go to the far right and hit the paper with the plus sign again to add the next stop. So we will change this stop type to delivery, and then we will go to Enterprise TMS to see the next stop. We see the next stop is Gretna, Louisiana, Home Depot, store number 359. So we will highlight the name and type it into the system. We will then go back and highlight the address and type that in the address bar. Finally, we will highlight the city and state and put that in the city and state zip code bar. Always put a comma after the city. For the arrival time, we will check our notes and see that we will be arriving in Gretna on August the 9th at 9 a.m. So we will type 08/09/2018 space 9A for 9 a.m. and then select OK. We will then go to the Gretna, Louisiana column and go to the far right and click the piece of paper with the plus sign to add the final stop. From here, we will change the stop type to delivery, and we will go and look at the last stop, which is actually the first stop since we always work backwards when building orders. We will highlight the name and put it in the name column. We will then highlight the address and put it in the address column. We will highlight and copy the city and state and paste it into the cities and state in zip code bar. Add a comma after the city. For the scheduled arrival time, we will look at our notes and see that we will arrive in New Orleans on August the 9th at 8 a.m. So we will go to schedule arrive between and type 8/9/2018 and 8 in the letter A for 8 a.m. And click OK. Once we have completed that, you will notice that you will have your pickup address along with all the stops that you've entered into the system. These stops must be in the same order as the order of the load on Enterprise TMS. If for some reason they are out of order, you will need to delete them and re-enter them in the system so that they are scheduled chronically in chronological order of the stops on TMS. If you make a mistake and you need to re-enter information, simply click on the column of the store that you need to edit. For example, if you need to edit Gretna, you will select anywhere on the Gretna column and click. It will then bring you back to the screen where you can make your modifications. If for some reason you have added an extra stop and you need to delete one of your stops, simply go to the column of the stop you need to delete and click the X. This will delete the stop completely. Once you have entered all your stops into the system, we will then go to the billing tab. This is the final tab that you will need to enter information on. On this tab, you will notice that the first thing it asks for is the billing method. This will always be prepaid, and it's automatically populated, so you will never have to change it. From here, you will want to you will select the Choose from Recent Customers drop-down box, and you will select Midwest Air Technologies. Once you have done that, you will need to put in the rate that we have charged Midwest for this order. This information can be found in TMS Enterprise midway down the order screen. If you notice here, it says you have accepted $14.75 for the load. This is the number that you will need to put into the rate section under the billing tab. So we will go back and click on the rate and add $14.75. I'm sorry. You will just type 1475. This is all you will need to enter into the billing section. Once you have done this, you can click on OK, which will be in the upper right-hand corner of the screen. Once you have done this, you will have completed creating an order. Once you have completed it, it will give you an order number. You must write this order number down and send it to your manager via email. The order number will be in the upper left-hand corner of the screen, and it always starts with the number 4. So you will write that down. Once you have written that down, you will proceed to send an email to your manager. You will simply reply to the email that was sent to you. In the beginning of these training videos, you were shown an email that says, please schedule appointments for order-load number. Now, these order numbers are different because I have worked 2 orders during the course of this training. So this number will not match the order number in TMS Enterprise, and that's okay. But if for the sake of training, once you complete the load number that is given to you, once you have completed scheduling the dates and times, and you have created the order in the SureWay software system, you will reply to this email and say, scheduling complete and new order created. Order number, and the order number will be the order number that you created when you put the the order number that was created when you put the information into the system. So you will copy this and put it into your email. So again, it should read, scheduling complete and new order created, order number 449, or whatever your order number is what you will put. And then you will send that to your manager. This completes the training for creating an order.